12 of You Know Who, Beethoven's 1970 and the Politics. And guess what? Hate to break this to you, but death took its toll in Egypt, rises up in three at least 600 protesters were injured as an anti-government demonstrated in Cairo. It continues to interrupt violence. If Beethoven is military presto, well, we're going to find out on the final closing TimeFactor video commentary thoughts. Let's do it, shall we?
This is the Glenn Beck program.
Okay, now what happens next? It's gonna be February the 2nd here, 2011, and we're gonna get inside part 2 of this, part 12 of this Beethoven's 1970 and the Politics. And this is I mean, this is gonna be worse. How pathetic that it could be a military thing. It could be a universal brotherhood. Or should we say we have something to do with Muslim Brotherhood, with this chaos unrested in Egypt? You see on television and newspapers, whatever it is. Now here's the full refrain about this one. with this one, because it could be a story presto for Beethoven's introduction. It could be a story passage, and then it quotes 3 movements in each order. And that is why it bases the variations of orchestra alone. And then in the introduction could be a presto passage. And has something to do with the scheduled military style. That's what happens in the military world. You know, military schedule, these things. It comes to mind. And that could be obvious for this fourth movement. And this is the Egyptian military showing force. That's right, showing force. Of this. This is what happens. You don't try this at home. Showing forces of evil on Wednesday night, firing shots into the air, and protesters still cram into Cairo Square. And the military schizo is attempting to, clear out protesters and thousands of anti-government demonstrators. And Mubarak supports clashing into the streets and hurling Molotov cocktails and throwing rocks at each other. And now these 3 soldiers were killed, and at least 600 were injured from the violent protesters, according to this Egypt state television. And eyewitnesses say that the people have taken care of the roofs of the building and throwing tear gas bombs and gun firing rang out central Cairo. Whatever. This is what happens. This has got to stop. This is how barbaric could this provocative element throwing firebombs, and this is what kind of violence. Because you might think it's so smart about crouching abandoned trucks, hurling chunks of concrete bottles, and all that, tearing up salad dishes. Well, guess what? Bloodied anti-government protesters were taking shift clinics and protecting for soldiers for stationed at square, and the soldiers did nothing to stop the fighting. Now the violence dangerously Egypt of heavily significance between violent supporters of the two camps and the anti-government protesters. And that's when Mubarak just went on television last Tuesday night and rejects that he was stepped down immediately. He will remain 7 months in September. Now see what happens. See what I'm saying? See what happens. Uh, I got. You see what happens? I'll show you this. I got this on my whole roll here, and this is what happens. Because this gotta be barbaric. You see this? Uh, see this? What happened? Oh yes. Uh, Camera's too dark. Oh yeah, here it is. Too little, too late for barbaric. Uh, this is this is him. This is gotta be them. And this is see this? That's him. Disappointing. And uh disappointing. Now what about Syrians going online to organize this this or you see what happens next? Yeah, I can see now how barbaric. Now uh, this is what happens. Have you unrested? This one. That's right, unrested. There's more. Not the living section. I don't want that. Now, this is what could be the tipping point of this one. According to USA Today, this could be the tipping point. That's right, tipping point of this one. And this looks like a military march. This is what happens you don't try to live in a world of militaries and series. And how barbaric is that? Now you see how barbaric is this? This could be a military march. Waving a flag, surrendering, protect, prepared. Prepared. Now, you tell me how barbaric is this? This means because nearly 10,000 people, anti-protesters, are massed against it last Wednesday morning and rejected that Mubarak speaks is too little too late to renew their demands and leave immediately. Well, 3,000 people, Mubarak supporters, broke into a human chain of protesters. Now, many protesters who win days in military neutral stance and try to accuse the troops and intentionally allow to attack. Well, guess what? State television knows this one. About the time is over with, oh god, why if President Obama said to the White House that had spoken to Mubarak and he recognized that the status quo is not sustainable and a change must be taking place. That's what Obama said. Taking place? Well, since you said so in the first place, Mr. Obama, why did you tell Mubarak that the orderly that and an orderly transition was meaningful and peaceful to be must begin now and must include opposition parties? Oh, uh, and And here's what you don't want to see about this one. Why doesn't anybody know? You're not listening. Don't you think natural violence is it's gotta stop? And what happens next? Former Ambassador Obama and Boyd, to to e- Egypt's Frank Weisner, who was a friend of the Egyptian president, met with Mubarak, made it clear that it is that the U.S. view his tenure as president is coming to a close, coming to is coming to an end, according to this administration official who spoke on a conditional anonymity. Because why? Because the deficit of ongoing is a democracy, or should I say diplomacy. Now, those of you, now, now those of you on the left, those you even, the truth has no agenda. The truth has no agenda about this one. If you want to keep on fighting this, if you don't believe me, well, because everyone else can be civilized, throwing bottles and all that stuff at each other, and three soldiers are killed and 600 are injured, in the violent protesting in Cairo, central Cairo, and gunfires all of it. And television state of broadcasting what? So what's next? Anderson Cooper got attacked. Well, let Anderson have their fill. They want to attack. But the only thing it has is you cannot have violence. Violence has got to whole. Violence got to stop immediately. And why? Because it doesn't even make sense at all. I mean, it doesn't even make sense at all. Huh. Well, so what's next? Another one of your evil schemes, as far as we concern about that. That's that you can rely on. Well, I hope so. Anyways, don't forget to check my website, lhmusictimefactor.weebly.com. So is my final closing timefactor.weebly.com. So is Box as far as we're concerned. Now tomorrow it's gonna be American History Thursday. It's gonna be American History Parade. We'll talk about his four chaplains of World War II or World War One, whatever it is. And thank God it's Friday for an all-new final closing time factor video commentary thoughts for Friday. And why? Because it doesn't even make sense at all. Well, gotta go to bed and get some sleep. You think about it, what these days look like. Because you're gonna get what you deserve. You deserve a a a, what beating. Happens next? Trust me about that. Oh boy. Anyways, I got to go. Have a good night, and go with God's blessings, and don't try this at home. Seriously. Could be civilized, so trust me about that. But not yet. Anyways, I gotta go. Anyways, I'll see you back here on Monday, part 13 of You Know Who. Beethoven's 1970 in the politics. If it comes to violence, who knows? Take care. Go with God's blessings. And LH Music signing off. Bye bye for now. Have a good night. And go with God's blessings. Seriously, don't try it at home. Seriously. LH Music Time Factor.
Mercury.
Don't forget to Facebook me and follow me at facebook.com/LHMusicTime, and so is twitter.com/LHMusicTime. You'll be glad you did. Time Factor.